course of the 13th century, the Mongols conquered the largest contiguous land empire in world history. This astounding world power emerged from the unification of the 7 Mongol tribes under the leadership of Genghis Khan. Hello everyone! LCM History Channel invites you to take a trip to medieval times and learn about one of the most interesting battles of the Mongol Empire. Ogedei Khan became the ruler of the Mongols after Genghis Khan inherited a vast territory from his father. Ogedei faced a big problem. The treasury was empty. In 2023, the Mongols already made a test raid into the west and reached the Caspian Sea. However, most of the defeated states from that time didn't pay any tributes. In 1236, the Mongols gathered a huge army of 50 to 60,000 horsemen and headed west. Western Kipchak March has begun. In this video, we are talking about 1237 to 1238, the invasion into Kievan Rus. Batu, the senior grandson of Genghis Khan, was the leader, and under his command, the Mongols crushed the cities of Kievan Rus one by one. All the main cities were burned to the ground, and usually the siege took less than a week. It was an incredible success. All enemy forces were destroyed, cities were burned, the Mongols took a lot of slaves and livestock, and the army caravan was full of expensive clothes, gold, and jewelry. Hey guys, may I keep it? No? Oh, never mind. You may keep it. So it was already March, spring was coming, and it was a signal to stop the war campaign. Before moving to the steppes for a break camp, the invaders decided to capture one last city. Some sources say that they ran into this city by accident. Some say that they planned to visit it as a last stop to replenish their grain reserves. There is also a version that the Mongols visited this city to take revenge, since the grandfather of the current prince fought against the Mongols back in 1223. In any case, on March the 25th, 1238, the Mongols came under the wooden walls of the Kozelsk, the city with a total population of about 5,000 people. And there were only about 250 warriors. At that time, the city was at the head of 12-year-old Prince Vasily. 250 warriors and 5,000 people in total, including children, women, and old ones, against the Mongol raid, where they had armies of dozens of thousands of professionally experienced, brutal soldiers. What are the chances, eh?
Blah, 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 blah.
No worries, I will translate and explain. So, the Mongols offered to surrender. In this case, they promised not to kill anyone and to take only half the population into slavery. But the city residents consulted and decided that no one would surrender. They would fight to the end. Everyone who could took up arms and climbed the walls to protect the city. Now, we need to say a few words about the defense fortifications. First of all, the city was covered with the water from all sides except the one. So there were many more Mongols than defenders, but they could only attack in one narrow area, and quantity lost its importance. We should also mention the moat that surrounded the city. We have, unfortunately, a low-budget film, so whatever ditch we could dig, that's what we dug. But in fact, it was very deep. So you won't say it, right? The ditch was almost 10 meters deep. For my American friends, the depth of the ditch was approximately 12 washing machines or whatever you use to measure the height. Well, we couldn't dig 10 meters, so all the rest is up to your imagination. When Batu Khan learned that the city was not going to surrender, he gave the order for the assault. He was so confident in his victory that he did not even begin to build assault devices. We'll pause here for a minute. Among our viewers, as we found out, there were many experts on the Mongols, and we received a large number of messages with approximately the following text. Don't make mistakes. The Mongols should fight only on horses and always with bows. Of course, we won't make that mistake, especially for our experts. We'll take a Mongol warrior. Let's take away his spear and give him a bow, or even let him have 2 bows. And now, at your request, he will show you how to storm the city without even getting off your horse. This is a famous Mongol tactic. Let's watch it again with a replay. That's why they conquered half the world. Well, now that the experts are satisfied, we will return to the Mongol army. Dreaming of destroying the rebellious city, Batu gave the order to storm Kozelsk. Did you think the battle was about to begin? No. There is one more important thing. How can the Mongols overcome the city ditch? Well, the Mongols had extensive experience in storming cities, and they had their own tactics for overcoming these fortified obstacles. Remember this year, we had a film about the Battle of Narva in 1700. There, the Swedes filled the ditch with fascines, bundles of wood to fill the ditch. The Mongols had the same tactics. They just threw mostly wet wood at it to make it difficult to set it on fire, and it was not Mongol soldiers who threw logs into the ditch, but captives from the local population or previously captured slaves. They were given logs and forced to go to the fortress and throw them down. Naturally, the defenders of the fortress shot their own fellow citizens with arrows. There was no choice. The Mongols filled the ditches not only with wood, but also with prisoners.
This is Mongolia.
Usually they were thrown into the same ditch where they had just thrown the logs themselves. Thus, the city moat was filled with wet wood mixed with the corpses of slaves and local residents. And through the filled ditch, which was not the obstacle anymore, the Mongols began storming the city walls. However, the ditch in Kozelsk turned out to be so deep, well, here again a test of your imagination, that the Mongols realized that they would be throwing wood and corpses at it for a very long time, and abandoned this idea. But how to overcome the moat? Then the invaders simply made large wooden decks and covered the ditch with them. Since our film is low budget, by the way, thanks to those who support us on Patreon, we still don't have money for the moat. It won't be in the film anymore. Let's just imagine that the Mongols covered it with decking, and to simplify filming, the director asked to remove this literally. Remove the damn ditch, it really interferes with the animation, he said. Well, we have discussed all the questions about history. Now we can go on with the attack.
Как ты говоришь, тебя зовут? Имя какое-то басурманское. И тебе не жарко в этом... Как ты его там назвал?
Mongol leader was furious. He saw that his army was suffering heavy losses, but there were no successes. He gave the order to retreat. Instead of a quick assault, the Mongols were forced to begin a long siege. Batu Khan also ordered the construction of siege equipment to begin. The small town stood like a bone across his throat. Want to see the second part of this history battle? Well, please rate this video, subscribe, and support History in Lego style on our channel. That's it for today. See you soon. Farewell.